Season 10 of Supernatural took the Winchesters down the darkest path yet. And that says a lot considering the long road the brothers have traveled so far. The season hit incredibly high notes with episodes like Fan Fiction, the 200th episode, and About a Boy, but also delivered a handful of stories that were little more than filler. New mythology was explored, but at the same time, opportunities were missed. Let's take a broad look at what worked and what didn't. The series isn't only about Sam and Dean, but the relationship between the brothers and their life's work is at the heart of the story. They've been through just about everything, but in between hunting and heartache, they still have some normal brotherly moments. Anytime we get those slices of respite is a joy, and they were sprinkled throughout the season in an appropriate amount. Mostly though, Season 10 showed the danger of the Winchesters' love for each other. As I've mentioned before, their bond is a strength and a weakness, and it was interesting and important to see what they're willing to put on the line for each other. Sam took desperate measures to save Dean from the Mark of Cain, actions that ended up putting the world in peril. In some ways, I'm not sure how positive their relationship is anymore, but it's a fascinating point to explore. Dean was the focus of the season's big arcs. There was Demon Dean with the Mark of Cain, and then Dean suffering from the Mark of Cain. He fell into a convincing downward spiral and crossed lines I wouldn't have anticipated. Jensen Ackles has entertained over the years with Dean's quips and sarcastic comments, and while he got to hit comedic notes this season, he explored a different side of Dean and made him downright disturbing. It was refreshing to see the character change and to see Ackles more than rise to the challenge. After a lot of promotion and build-up, Demon Dean ended up being anticlimactic, but not in the way it was executed. The relationship between Demon Dean and Crowley was a delight, and the carefree version of Dean was fun to watch. However, it was over in a flash. It ended in an abrupt and jarring fashion, too. They missed an opportunity by bringing Dean back to humanity so quickly. On the other hand, the Mark of Cain problem lasted too long. The plot was pushed to the side for a while, and then the whole back half of the season was all about the Mark. It was unbalanced. While Dean went dark side because of the Mark, Sam went on a similarly twisted journey because of his loyalty to and love for Dean. He can't lean on the excuse of being cursed, and of the two brothers, Sam might have undergone the more surprising transformation. But his transformation was sort of lost in the shuffle of bigger arcs and Dean's problems. As a result, it felt like Sam was pushed aside for the majority of the season. We don't need one brother in the spotlight or one brother in danger. They're at their best when they face problems together. With the darkness on the way, it looks like we could see more of a team-up next season. Crowley and Castiel didn't spend as much time with the Winchesters as I would have liked, but the Angel and the King of Hell kept busy. The presence of Rowena was a distraction, but ultimately, Crowley fully embraced his all-powerful role once again, and it was a thing to behold to watch Mark Sheppard step back into those shoes. Castiel wrestled with humanity again, but not in a way we've seen before. He did so by seeking out his vessel's daughter and building a relationship with her. This was a smart way to put the Angel into a new role. Misha Collins continued to deliver emotional and/or hilarious performances. He's brought Castiel a long way. There were a couple of gaffes with the character. CAs repeatedly got angry at Sam for lying to Dean, which by the way, gets so very tiring and needs to never happen again, but didn't do anything about it. He's a powerful being who has the ability to stop Sam from using Rowena, etc., but he never did anything. Perhaps that's the idea. Castiel is letting Sam do all the dirty work he actually wants to do. It doesn't feel like a thing Castiel would do. Character-specific arcs aside, the show has to keep rolling with the family business. The monster of the week is what started it all, and the Winchesters have to go back to their roots sometimes. The concept can be fun and make you nostalgic for the days when the brothers worried about how hard it would be to kill vampires, or it can venture into too silly to be entertaining territory. It went both ways this season. I'm split about the new additions to the mythology, too. For example, the Steins were a boring means to an end, but the Grand Coven was intriguing. The largest misstep of the season involved Charlie Bradbury. Death is part of Supernatural. This isn't a series about happy endings. But killing off Charlie was a poor decision that ultimately only seemed to happen to push Dean over the edge. It's less about her being a fan-favorite character and more about her death not making much sense.